I'm Carla O'Brien.
And my name is Beth Hallen.
Together, we are the owners of the Slant system for structured language training.
I have served as a public school teacher for over 20 years, as a kindergarten and first grade classroom teacher, as well as an elementary school reading specialist.
Throughout my career, I have had experience working with a variety of students as a special education teacher and school administrator.
Several years ago, we attended the Slant introductory course and then continued on to Slant certification. Slant helped us to learn the most effective methods to teach reading to all children.
It was through Slant structured literacy training that we were able to deliver lessons based on the science behind reading with utmost confidence, but most importantly, our students made incredible growth in a very short amount of time.
As the leaders of Slant System for Structured Language Training, our mission is to empower teachers all over the world to engage all learners.
Slant was born over 25 years ago by a teacher who realized that her students with dyslexia needed better instruction. The Slant system is an Orton-Gillingham, multisensory, explicit, sequential, and systematic method of teaching reading.
The S in Slant is for structured. LAN is abbreviated for language, and T is for training. Structured language training is structured literacy. Over the last 20 years, thousands of teachers have been certified in the Slant system, reaching tens of thousands of students across the country. A teacher certified in Slant can positively affect the course of a student's life through literacy.
Slant's method of instruction has been supported by decades of research and evidence, proven to be effective for all readers, especially our struggling readers, those with dyslexia, as well as our English language learners.
Slant materials are aligned to its unique scope and sequence. 7 stage books were created to be 100% decodable for students, giving them the opportunity to practice applying their skills immediately, leaving students to feel confident and empowered to be successful readers. One of Slant's guiding principles is assume nothing, teach everything. This reminds teachers to provide instruction explicitly and to never assume a student has knowledge of skills. We use an I do, we do, you do approach to instruction. Our content is systematic, sequential, and cumulative. The program gradually introduces the different syllable types so that by the end of the teaching sequence, students are familiar with the 7 syllables, the syllable division rules, the identification of prefixes, bases, and suffixes, and the spelling rules regarding the addition of suffixes to base words. Every lesson includes contextual reading as well as spelling dictations. The Slant materials all include passages with decodable text. Comprehension is stressed along with decoding accuracy. A variety of graphic organizers for reading comprehension are presented throughout the teaching sequence, and teachers learn how to use these with the reading passages within the program or with any appropriate text. Written expression strategies ranging from writing a complete simple sentence to sentence expansion to paragraph writing to report writing are also taught during the teacher's training year. Multisensory instruction is integral to Slant training. We follow the classic multisensory triangle using visual, auditory, and tactile kinesthetic pathways for instruction and retrieval. Students are continually practicing encoding and decoding throughout the lesson components.
Training in the Slant system begins with an introductory course held over multiple days with direct, intensive professional development that can be put into practice immediately. During the introductory course, we discuss brain development of typical and struggling readers, specifically those with dyslexia. Teachers learn how to use the teaching sequence to plan and deliver their lessons. Slant as a structured literacy method is a very individualized diagnostic approach to teaching reading. Slant is not a scripted program.
Following the introductory course, many teachers continue on through our one-on-one supervised practicum for Slant certification. Teachers gain a much deeper understanding of English language structure, including morphology, written expression, spelling, phonemic awareness, vocabulary, fluency, orthographic mapping, and comprehension. In addition to seminars provided throughout the school year, each teacher receives 5 observations from a Slant coach who offers ongoing support of implementation of the Slant system within your school or private practice.
What is unique to our training is that materials are available to immediately begin implementing Slant instruction. Teachers appreciate that all materials have been created for them and that they match the Slant scope and sequence. Our training is directly correlated to the International Dyslexia Association's Knowledge and Practice Standards. Upon completion of practicum, teachers will have the knowledge necessary to pass the Knowledge and Practice Examination for Effective Reading Instruction, also known as the KPRE, which measures an educator's knowledge of the principles and practices of structured literacy. Even though Slant was originally developed for students with dyslexia, we know explicit, systematic, structured literacy is best practice for all students. When evidence-based techniques are combined with high-quality professional development, success for students will be celebrated.
So please join us for our next Slant System professional development, and you will walk away feeling empowered as a teacher of reading that is able to engage all students, giving them the greatest gift of their lifetime: literacy.
Hi there, my name is Beth Camano. I'm a teacher. I've taught for 22 years. The last 14 of them have been as a reading specialist in a K-6 elementary building. I worked with a first grader this year using Slant, who at the beginning of the year did not have full mastery of letter names and sounds yet. She flourished this year. It was so fun to see. So by the end of the year, she was reading and blending short CVC words and words with blends like piece of cake, and her confidence soared. And the main victory, I think, was that by the end of first grade, she really thought of herself as a reader. Which the introductory Slant course was for me a total game changer in the way that I approached reading instruction with my kiddos. I feel like I hadn't learned anything like this when I got my master's in literacy. And so after the intro course, I came back to my building and I wanted to tell everyone overall what I learned in how to remediate, not just how to remediate students who have reading struggles and dyslexia, but I also learned what red flags to look for, what questions to ask, what assessments to give. It helped me become, I guess, more empowered to know exactly what to do when I had a kiddo in front of me. It just gave me more confidence to know which direction I should go in. I guess one of the main things that was helpful was having that practicum once a month where I could have a safe space to ask questions and say, hey, this came up, or what do you do when you get to this word, or is there a rule for this? Spoiler alert, there's always a rule. And so you just need to learn what they are and help empower kids with those strategies and stuff, and so that they know what to do too. So going through that Slant practicum was amazing for me because it was not a one and done. I guess the cherry on top for all of my Slant experience was having a coach, not just because my coach was fabulous, because she was, but it was truly like, the best way I can think of to describe it is like having a personal trainer, except for teaching. It was somebody who could sit with me and with my students and show us exactly what we needed when we needed it. And so I knew that if I ever had questions, or if I got stuck, or even if I'm looking at a set of test scores, I'm like, what does this mean? Like, where do I go next from here? She was always there to be able to guide me. It is, as I said, a total game changer. It's the most valuable professional development I've received in my 22-year career, and it has forever changed my instruction for the better. I truly do feel that. I feel confident knowing that each aspect of all of my Slant lessons are grounded in scientific research. So they get more confident, and then I get more confident that, man, what I'm doing is really working, and this is so exciting. I love that this is backed, and I'm confident, and that I know where to turn if I do have questions, or if I do get stuck on something. I know that my Slant coach is always there for me, and I know a million new resources that I hadn't been aware of before. So highly recommend, if you have the opportunity, go get Slant trained.